out. It probably doesn't make a huge difference. I guess the real thing you want to watch out for is which build actually gets you out the 13 drones faster. As you can see, most people will build 3 drones after their overlord pops and then go to a spawning pool, and that's what he is doing. I caught it the first time when it was building, so I figured I'd come back around and make sure that it just started. So continuing to scout with my probe. At this point, I've got my gateway coming in, and I've got my gas. I believe 12 gate, 14 gas as well. And continuing to scout with my probe. He's trying to chase me around. Pretty useless, I'd say, especially since probes regenerate their shields. If you do get 1 or 2 shots in, chances are I'm going to get out of combat for enough time that my shields will start regenerating. So, word of advice, you can try to shoo it out, but unless you've got a queen or some zerglings on the creep, it's really pointless. And I notice now here, he's actually supply blocked. So I wonder if this is maybe why he was so far behind. But he is going for gas now. He's got 3 guys on gas, and I don't see a lair coming yet. So I figured, he's not showing what he's doing. Either he's waiting for my scout to leave, or he is just not knowing what he's doing. So putting up a second extractor, so that tells me he's going to be going for hydralisks or mutalisks, but I guess we will see. At this point, getting my cybernetics core up, a second pylon and a second geyser. Sorry, not second pylon, third pylon. And I do lose my first scouting probe here. Unfortunately for me, I don't see what he was doing besides the double gas, the queen, and the hatchery. He wasn't getting lair tech yet, and I did not have a chance to see this hatchery coming down as it just started. So he is doing a somewhat fast expand. Yeah, not really. Fast expand is usually like 13 pool, 15 hatch, or 15 pool, 16 hatch. Anyways, since I don't know really what he's doing, I figure I'll take the safe route and go for 3 gate, and then get my cybernetics core warp gate warped in, or research done. Still saturating, I believe. Yes, still building probes. I like to get about 17, 18, 19, 20 probes on minerals. And I believe at this point I figure I better scout him again. I don't know what he's doing, so I send out another probe, re-boosting, or chrono-boosting my warp gate tech, and still building zealots. I've got 1 sentry out. I don't think I can see that overlord. I can now. Anyways, my scout actually is getting in. So I did see the hatchery, and I am going to get to see a evolution chamber, and that's it. So I see evolution chamber, 2 gas, spawning pool, no roach warren, queen, and he is going tier 2. At this point, I mean, I could maybe deduce that he's going for hydras, but if you'll notice this, when my probe actually ran by, I was able to see that the spawning pool, I'll show you guys, I'll back it up a little bit. So my probe's in here, and I am able to see that his spawning pool is going nuts. So I'm going to pause it. Actually, no, I'll just slow it down. So what you can see is how frantically the spawning pool moves. If you'll look at this little vein here and the top of the pool, you can see how fast it beats and how quickly it moves around. That that actually says that he's getting the research, and now you see that it's calmed down. So now it's like just a slow heartbeat. The water in the pool or the slime in the pool isn't going nuts. So right there I knew he was going for the Ling upgrade, which is a very good indicator that he's going to be going for a Spire. As soon as his tier 2 finishes, he'll probably go Spire, just for the fact that Speedlings and Mutalisks are a common combination. You don't see Speedlings really with Hydras very often, as it's still somewhat easy to counter with charge lots. So at this point, Warp Gate Tech is done, committing all 4 gateways to Warp Tech. I think I'm going to warp in 4 units, and then take a forward, and then go make a forward pylon. Making sure I don't supply lock myself, building an extra pylon in the base. I took out a Zergling, or 2, no, just 1. And I'm also going to take out this Overlord, which probably supply locks him. So yeah, almost. So he can't really build much more. He's building a couple spine crawlers because he knows I'm pushing out. Pushing out with this force, I did tend to go a little bit Zealot heavy because I knew that he was going to have speedlings, and zealots do very well against speedlings. If you can prevent them from getting a surround, it does very well. Pulling his, I could have done here, what I should have done is actually block off his ramp. But this works in my favor. Because of this force field, he's unable to get a good surround on my units. Not the greatest force field, as it actually stopped my zealots from being able to surround his defenses. But nonetheless, I am going to block off his ramp so that if he does have hydras, he can't reinforce me. Although I was expecting mutalisks, and as you can see, he is getting his spire up. So I knew I had to be... Oh, and yeah, Cyanir leaves the game. He canceled his spire and left the game. And yes, that is a good timing push if you're scouting properly and you see that he's going to quick tier 2 with no Roach Warren. You want to go to a 4 gateway, get your forward pylon, get your warp gate tech, and then just push in. At this point, you just continue building probes, continue pushing or making army. If you're making progress in the push, but you don't think you're going to be able to kill him quick, you want to take an expansion. I've got lots of minerals here left over. So I was able to decide if I wanted to expand. At this point, if he did have Mutalisks out, I could have killed the hatchery, ran back to my base, warped in some more stalkers, expanded, and took the advantage that way. I had way too much gas saved up, but what can I say? With a 4-gate strategy, now that they've nerfed sentries, I don't use sentries as much, except in this situation where I knew I'd need at least 2 to 3 force fields, so I had a couple sentries with me. I do like to have sentries when I'm doing a robotics facility push, just for the fact that you can put force fields around your immortals and stop zerglings or zealots or anything melee from getting a complete surround on your immortals. Anyways, thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. I hope you learned a little bit about Protoss timing pushes against Zerg. If I do a few more, maybe I will post them. If not, I'll just look for a 2 vs 2 replay to show you guys. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening.